Boys in Company C. I call it another classic jarhead Marine Corps movie. It kind of centers around boot camp. I think everybody should watch. It's pretty good. Let's get going.
What the fuck is the goddamn brother giving me now? I never seen a bunch of fucking walking garbage deep in my life. It looks like a bunch of sorry son of a bitches.
So you figure this movie was done in 1978. It's supposed to represent, I believe, 1967, 1968. So, I don't know. These hairdos, pretty classic, though. You get a bunch of people that really don't want to be there. There wasn't much of a drafter in Vietnam for the Marine Corps, a very short period of time. But, pretty classic-looking group of people from the air, at least so far in this lineup.
Mister, you got something tickling your ass? What the fuck are you bouncing up and down in ranks for? Why did you looking at Hollywood straight eyes? I don't know you no money. And we got Jesus Christ with us today. What are you looking at?
These, I did another one, Look Below, about Full Metal Jacket, kind of my commentary on these movies. They do a great job in the movies of getting the real Marine Corps, at least the boot camp scenes, with the little tying together the insults, the one-liners are just so funny. Albeit this drill instructor, the staff sergeant, is a little on the chubby side. I don't know that I'd see too many like that, but the one-liners already started are good.
Looking at your father, God, not me. Find something funny? Get on your fucking knees and you'll be his disciple. You find again something funny, huh?
Listen, man. I don't really hate assholes. I mean, I like you. I like you.
Hey, I know that.
Yeah, as you guys know, just, hey, man, what's going on? That just doesn't happen. This is 1978, made for the movie theater. Nothing like Full Metal Jacket, nothing like reality, of course, but, it makes for a good scene here. Let's watch.
But hassles, I like you too.
Okay.
Maybe you love me?
Yeah, I love you. I love everybody.
Very good. I love you too. Maybe one day we get married. Hey, what? All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this, you got different ends of the spectrum, like the total, they're playing water polo and boot camp and smoking pot to this end, which would be, we'll call it Full Metal Jacket. This is somewhere in between on the reality. This guy's just kind of jerking around.
Get up on your goddamn feet, you shithead. Come on, grab two. Hollywood, what are you looking at? Take a...
There's definitely a difference between the current pool of Marine recruits coming in than this era, right? Now, again, it's for the movies, but any of you guys that were in during the 60s, hopefully there's some guys watching, was this pretty standard look where you've got just, all sorts of hairdos, all sorts of guys that look like they just rolled out of a, Grateful Dead show, or is this just made for television? I don't want to assume, but you guys put in the comments below any of you guys are around during that period.
Goddamn glasses before I yank them off you. Hey, goddamn, you with the fucking pretty face. What are you spitting on the ground for? What is that shit in your mouth?
Chewing tobacco, sir.
It's what?
Chewing tobacco, sir. No, sir, I enlisted, sir.
You did what?
I enlisted in the Marines, sir.
What the hell did you do a mistake like that for?
So, yeah, it's like, what'd you do the mistake like that for? Today everyone's got so much information, right? So you think about, everybody knows about all the special forces type training and everyone's locked on. Back then you had a buddy, an uncle that was a Marine, he'd tell you a little bit, maybe you picked up a magazine. These guys really didn't know, right? Now we've got all the stuff on YouTube and just so much information for young recruits to suck up and learn about. So I could believe this part of it.
I'm Sergeant Boyce. I'm your drill instructor for the next 2 months.
So you guys remember him, right? Put it below. Which movie is this sergeant from? Known as the Gunny in the other movies. If you don't know, he was a real Marine Corps drill instructor. I believe he got as a staff sergeant. He was part of the Air Wing in Vietnam. So, legit guy. And he plays a great character in, and I haven't seen this clip. I haven't seen this movie in years. He plays a great character in Full Metal Jacket, as we all know. Gunnery Sergeant Hartman.
What, faggots? Jesus, how the hell do they expect me to train fucking Marines when they won't even send me human goddamn beings to start with? Pick up your bags, empty the contents on the table in front of you. You will empty your pockets and place the contents of your pockets on the table in front of you. Do it now! You get your back pocket. Contraband, get rid of it. That's fine. Get rid of it. Tuck your knives up your pocket. Oh, nice. Technicolor rubbers. I bet you're a virgin, aren't you? I lost it when I was 13. What?
You know, it's funny the crap people bring to boot camp. I didn't see that when I went to Marine Corps boot camp, but check below. There's an Army boot camp video, and they show these guys rolling in with like backpacks, cell phones, all this gear. I suspect that the Army is not saying, hey, bring your cell phone and a bunch of gear. I don't know. Any of you guys that were in the Army, put that below in the comments. Did you bring cell phones to boot camp?
Man, get rid of it. What do you have in the package there, Private?
Cookies for my girlfriend, sir.
Bullshit. Contraband. Put it on the table. Oh, what do we have here? A little faggot, huh? How about getting your jewelry on?
Yeah, do yourself a favor with respect to cookies or any kind of care packages at boot camp. They'll mention that if you can get care packages, but make sure your girlfriend doesn't put perfume on a letter. And I didn't want care package. My grandmother sent some cookies, and I just remember having to push. And it came in late at night when mail call is, having to do push-ups on the quarterdeck. And I'd recommend no care packages. They send you letters. Make sure the girlfriend's not kissing the back with lipstick or putting perfume on it. Because those DIs love to give you that stuff and love for you to pay at night when you get your mail.
Sweetheart, put it on the table. What do you have in your pockets there? Lipstick? Jesus, put the goddamn thing on the table. Do you masturbate?
You know, from the looks of this, I'm assuming it's San Diego. It's supposed to be San Diego. These things are never right on point. But with the way the barracks were and, you know, the way you don't see trees everywhere like Parris Island. That's a big difference.
Report back to me when you're through. You understand?
Okay.
You get your belt too.
Yes.
Yeah. The volume these DIs has is probably a little on the low end. You guys know that have been there. You know, there's not much of this conversational tone.
Oh. Turn 163 here. First 5 privates. Get on the chair. Move it up. Hurry. I don't have all day, privates. Move it up. Move it up there, man.
You know, now this experience in boot camp, and I'm sure it's the same, they'll tell you when you're standing in line, the drill instructors will say, hey, if you've got like a mole on your head, a bump, or something that we could cut off, right? The barber will cut off, let us know, because they will cut it off. Because they zing your head so fast that if you had a mole, that thing would just be zipped off. I don't even know if you tell them, is it going to matter? But, because they cut your hair so fast, in seconds. I don't know why these guys are surprised. Yeah, you're not getting high and tight.
For me there, huh? Very nice. Yeah, do Jesus real good there for me. I'm going to see Jesus all day. Jesus, huh?
It's like a lineup. I don't know if that happened. The numbers, right? Mugshots.
Try to stay and stuck with the private in front of you.
Now I'd expect NFC bags, right? Not these laundry bags. I would think that'd be pretty rare just to have that little amount of gear. You got, what, one set of boots on, one set they're carrying, and not enough stuff in that bag. Kind of odd.
All right, you maggots, listen up. You're going to say your Marine Corps prayers. You will repeat after me. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the...
I want you new guys to listen to this. This is a real thing. Saying prayers as a kid growing up and doing this in boot camp. This is a real thing when I was in. Hey, you guys put in comments below a question. Did you do this in boot camp? Did your DIs at night have you do this? At least a few times. I remember this very clearly.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I will fear no evil. For I'm the biggest, baddest meanest motherfucker in the valley.
I'm the biggest, baddest, meanest motherfucker in the valley.
When I tell you to prepare to mount, you will say, prepare to mount after me. You will say, aye, aye, sir. Then you will do it as I give you the command. Prepare to mount.
Prepare to mount. Aye, aye, sir.
Do it.
Yeah, that's how you get on your racks. It's not this real slow cadence, but it seemed like I was always in the top bunk. I don't care if when I was in boot camp, infantry training, in the fleet, it seemed like I always had the top rack. I'm not sure how that happened, but if you're on the top rack guy, you get good at jumping, sliding up and jumping on that darn rack, because, you know, if you don't mount fast enough on the rack, then you're down again, and you're, you know, scuzz brush races, and, you know, it goes on and on in the games if you don't get it together.
Attention, worms, attention.
And this is real.
Repeat after me. Gung ho.
Gung ho!
Louder.
Gung ho!
Gung ho.
Gung ho!
Good night, Chesty, wherever you are.
Yeah, that happens too. I remember that one.
Wherever you are. Roughly at 04:30, you want us to go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't ever remember going to sleep in the middle of the day, and there would be someone pulling guard duty. There's a bunch of these good Marine Corps movies. Obviously, Full Metal Jacket, The Boys of Company C. Jarhead's okay. I mean, it's a little, you know, a little drawn out on the Desert Storm business from my experience. But hey, thanks for watching.